everyone, welcome back to another video. It's Brianna Ray from BriIY here to bring you something that I'm really excited about and I sure hope turns out as cool, for real, as it is in my brain. Personally, I've always been a really big fan of the Chanel aesthetic. However, based on the fact that my channel name is Crafting on a Budget, as you can imagine, I do not have Chanel money. At least not for anything other than maybe a bottle of perfume. I do have exactly one bottle of Chanel perfume that I got for Christmas a couple of years ago. I saw something about finding a wedding scent for yourself, which is something that you kind of like sprayed or used primarily when you were doing wedding related things on your wedding day, going wedding dress shopping, photo shoots, etc. And I decided to make mine Chanel No. 5, so I only wear it on anniversaries or like big events with my husband. Otherwise, it is very much a trophy. I also have this empty bottle that I bought for like $15 online. And yeah, it's a little bit older, but I kind of use this one for display just because I think it's pretty. I always kind of thought in my mind, oh, maybe I could get like some Chanel jewelry or something so that I can kind of, you know, honor the fact that I love the aesthetic so much without breaking the bank. Unfortunately, it's still a little too pricey for me, as you can imagine. But I did kind of find something on Etsy that I thought would be really fun to recreate and allow me to still support the Chanel brand without buying dupes or fakes or anything like that. What I've come into is repurposed buttons. So what I have here is a 2-set of buttons. I don't know if it's from like a blazer or a skirt or something, some sort of Chanel clothing that has the authentic logo on them, and they are stamped on the back as well with Chanel. They are very metal feeling, they do not bend, they're quite weighty, but they're a reasonable size, and it's definitely in a very like classic Chanel style. I also have something else coming that I'm going to do at the second half of this video. Since it's still coming, I'm just going to do this one today, and I'll show you the other one towards the end, so stay tuned for that. This like world of like vintage buttons and zipper pulls is something that's new to me, but I did see that people were taking these online and repurposing them into jewelry, and I thought that this set would make a beautiful pair of earrings. So these are the post backs that I have. I do have a smaller size, but I definitely want to make sure that there's as much glue contact here as possible. I'll be using an E6000, and as you can see, it fits relatively nicely, or at least it will, without covering up the stamp on top. So what I'm going to want to do is remove this piece here, and for me that's going to be a journey with some wire cutters. I know that there are specific tools that are designed to kind of cut things like this nice and flat. I don't have those, so I'm going to show you on this button how I'm kind of designing my earrings. So I am starting first by taking this wire cutter that I have. Unfortunately, I don't have one that like really gets in there. I probably should if I want to continue doing this, but for now, this is what I have. And I'm just positioning the shank in between my cutting space and just boom, so that I can kind of knock off the top there and cut as much of it off as I can right here. So you can kind of see just a little bit like this. Now I have my Dremel tool, and I'm just going to shave this down until it is nice and flat. Something else you could do, I just got one of these super cheap things from the Dollar Tree. These come in like packs of 3 from the Dollar Tree, and I just kind of bent it, and I was able to just kind of go in very simply without damaging the rest of it and shaving it down. This is obviously going to be a way more time-intensive project, but I did want to provide options in case you don't have something like this. So you can see I kind of have it attached. I'm going to turn this on. I'm going to hyperlapse through it because it's going to be loud, and I'm just going to shave it down. All right, you can see we are nice and flat now. It's still not perfectly flat, but that's okay because of all these 3-dimensional bits. I'd actually like for it to kind of stick off a little bit. So yeah, that is that. And it's time to do the basic assembly. This is of course gonna have to dry overnight because I do want these to last. I considered drilling through this and adding like a jump ring because I really want to add these like dangly pearls to the bottom. And then I decided, nope, I really don't want to mess with the integrity of my button. So I'm not gonna do that. And instead I'm just going to focus on adding pieces to it with some E6000. And I do have these little E6000s. You can get these at like Dollar Tree now. I think you can get like 2 or 3 of these for $1 in these tiny little disposable bits, which I think is great because the big ones for me, they, you know, the tips always dry out just a little bit too much and then they don't open and then you end up wasting a bunch of E6000. So this is great because you're not wasting all of it. So now that I have this nice and flat to the point where it's not going to cause me any drama, I am simply going to take one of my circle bits and I'm going to glue it to the top. And for this guy, it actually sits very nicely just kind of on the edge. So I'm going to drop that right there and add a dot of glue to each of them. And I think that that is a stunning design and definitely kind of jazzes up. Obviously this alone is fine, but I think this takes it to something that's just slightly more my style. Alright, so the cutting and shaving took me about 5 minutes per earring just to make sure that it was as smooth as I needed it. Obviously attaching this glue bit only took about a minute per earring, so really this is like a 10-minute project for some relatively expensive buttons. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to let these dry overnight. Obviously since E6000 is so sticky, it does kind of just hold its shape mostly. These two in particular cost me $30, $29.99 for the set of 2, so each of them was $15, which is still a crazy amount of money for a button, but $30 for a pair of earrings is a lot more reasonable. So here's where I got them from. Right here, there was tons and tons of options on her store, and this is just this one order. We can also go up to my watch list over here, and you'll see just tons and tons of these Chanel buttons and at varying prices. And we're back, day 2. Everything is super sturdy. It looks beautiful still. The post is great. I did get a little ahead of myself and got a little too excited and did try it on already. It did work very well. I think this is also like it's a big earring, but it's definitely like ear sized. Unfortunately, because it's so heavy, because it's metal, it does kind of like lean in the ear. So instead of like leaning flat against the ear, it kind of like dips away like this and looks a little funky. So since I don't like that, I did kind of come up with a really cost-effective solution. There are like earring backs that can convert like these posts to dangles without messing with the back, and my priority here was not covering up the Chanel stamp. So I actually have all these little earring bits here, and I thought this would be the most cost-effective way. Now obviously if I just kind of slide it over there, it's a little crooked. So I'm gonna grab that loop and very carefully twist it so that it is facing a different direction. And very simply put, I can pop it over top of the post and the dangly bit just is like perfectly sized. I don't know if this is the best solution for all earrings, but for these, it definitely works. So I'm gonna do that, and then I'm gonna take the post backing and I am just going to clip it on top. So you can see from the side, this protrudes quite a bit. I do not want that. I still want it to obviously slip in though, so I am just going to kind of come down here, just relatively flush with the top of the stud. And now you can see it's much less protruding, and I can kind of clip that down nice and flat. So I've effectively made a dangly earring. Time to do the quickest of tests. And there we have it. Oh yay, I love it. It's been about 3 days and I finally got my next thing. I've already opened it because I got too excited. It was really sweet that the person who sent me this charm also sent me like a pair of Swarovski crystal earrings. That was kind of nice. And it came really well packaged. I just got a little too excited and couldn't handle myself. But this is the pendant slash zipper pull So obviously if it were attached to a zipper, I would be able to pull the zipper undone or zip it up with it. But for me, I'm going to attach it to a chain. I very simply got this chain off of Amazon, as you can imagine. And I don't want to mess with the jump ring if I don't have to, so I am going to slip it onto the chain. And that is as simple as that's going to be. All I need to do is clasp it around my neck and I have a functioning necklace. Okay, I already filmed like all the video, but I've done more. Like I got more. I got these 2 sets of zipper pulls in like a pack on Amazon for like 55 bucks. So each of these was like $12 basically, which is a really good deal. And this one was I think $17 with a little bit of shipping, but I think it matches the earrings very nicely. I kind of had 2 charms and only 1 chain really, so I kind of was swapping this back and forth, but I didn't like how this chain is just a little too yellow. It's not really not like dulled, but this is definitely a lot more subtle of like a gold tone compared to this like really bright yellow. Layered necklaces are so in right now, and they are not that expensive. So I managed to get like a million different chains with lobster clasps already included for relatively inexpensive. I think this 3-piece set was like $6.99, and this set of 5 was like $12.99. And this chain on its own, I think I spent like $12 on. It's obviously a way nicer chain, but if you're trying to do this kind of on a budget or try to mix and match a couple of different ideas, I have like this padlock looking one that I'd love to wear with this paper clip style necklace. I think it's gonna look super cool. This is like a 3 set. This was a really great deal. I got this set of 3 for like 25 bucks. It was a total steal. There's like another one on there right now that's like, you know, 5 random zipper pulls for, I think it was like $35. It's like $5 a charm. It's like just, I mean, a really solid deal. So I've got these, and I thought they would be super cute on a bracelet, so I got these bracelets, of course. Yeah, I am just loving the way that these are turning out. So overall, this is kind of what I'm working with right now. I've got a bunch of different necklace styles. I kind of like this more than I thought I would. And I mostly used these like matching gold chains because that's really what I bought them for in the first place, is to match a little bit better. Some of them still don't match impeccably. I got this collection of chains over here. This one does match, I believe. This one does not so much. This one's okay, and these ones I wanted to turn like the new charms, like this one, and that one, into like a charm bracelet. Instead, there's a set of just like holiday set gold charms that I think I'm going to do with this little bracelet set here. But yeah, this is kind of what my collection of chain looks like at the present. I'm feeling pretty good about it. I also know one of the pendants I have coming is already on a chain, so I won't need a chain for that one. But I do have some others that I'll definitely enjoy having access to these for, and especially for those gold holiday charms, I can definitely throw them on this bracelet set here and kind of turn it into a little charm bracelet moment. But overall, I quite like the way that all of these have turned out. Even the chunkier ones that I'm not usually used to wearing, I think look really great on some of these bigger like zipper pulls. And like that chunkier vibe is just, it's different, and it's still weirdly very Chanel for me. So I am quite pleased with this little project. Is it technically quite expensive? Yes, but all things considered, way less expensive when we're considering like luxury jewelry on a budget. So yeah, I think that's all I had for you today. Thanks so much for watching. If you like what you saw, feel free to like and subscribe. I do put out new videos every Sunday at noon Eastern Standard Time, and I'd love for you to be here for the next one. Thanks again so much, and I hope to see you then. Bye.